Ever felt like loneliness and isolation have overtaken your life? Today we're going to talk about loneliness and how Stoicism can help you dealing with it. Welcome to Reflective Rise, your window to timeless wisdom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel now for all future wisdom we will share. Now let's dive into it. The foundational Stoic teaching encourages us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Sometimes, feeling lonely or isolated is a result of circumstances that are beyond your control. Perhaps you've moved to a new city or a global pandemic has forced you into lockdown. Recognizing that these situations are out of your hands can help to alleviate some of the distress that comes with them. However, what you do have control over is your response. Stoics believe that our reactions to life's challenges are fully within our power to shape and direct. So while you may not have chosen to be in this situation, how you react to it is up to you. You can choose to dwell on the negative aspects, or you can decide to face these feelings head-on, acknowledging them but refusing to let them define you. This isn't about denying your emotions or pretending that everything is fine. It's about acknowledging the reality of your situation and then deciding how you're going to respond. It's about deciding that, even though you can't control the situation, you can control your attitude and your actions. So the next time you're feeling lonely or isolated, remember this Stoic lesson. Recognize what's within your control and what isn't. And then focus on what you can change. Your response. Embrace the power of your response. And remember, not everything is within your control. How do you view your isolation? As a negative or a possible opportunity? Let's take a moment to step back in time and meet Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a keen advocate of Stoic philosophy. He firmly believed and practiced the power of our own judgments and interpretations. His wisdom tells us that the way we perceive a situation can fundamentally alter how we experience it. So, when you find yourself in the throes of isolation, how about giving your perspective a little twist? Instead of seeing it as a negative, why not consider it as an opening? An opening for self-reflection, an opening for growth, or even an opening for starting that hobby you've always been curious about. Remember, isolation need not be a prison. It can be a sanctuary, a place where you can introspect, discover new facets about yourself, and nurture your passions. It's all about how you choose to perceive it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." So think of your isolation as a canvas that's waiting for you to splash your colors, your thoughts, your dreams, and your aspirations. Every moment you spend in isolation could be a moment spent in creating a masterpiece, the masterpiece that is your life. In the end, it all comes down to perspective, how you choose to see the world, how you choose to see your circumstances, and most importantly, how you choose to see yourself. So will you choose to see isolation differently? Can you stand alone without feeling lonely? This question echoes the teachings of Stoic philosopher Seneca, who advocated for the development of what he referred to as an inner fortress. Now, this doesn't mean constructing a physical barrier to isolate oneself from the world. Far from it. It's about nurturing emotional and mental self-sufficiency. Imagine your mind as a fortress, unswayed by external circumstances, standing firm in the face of adversity. It's about finding comfort in your own company, relishing the silence and using it as a tool for introspection. It's a chance to tune into your thoughts, your desires, your fears and your dreams. It's a time to understand your strengths, recognize your weaknesses and work towards self-improvement. Consider this period of isolation not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to cultivate resilience, to build that inner fortress. It's a chance to explore the vast landscape of your inner self, to understand what truly brings you joy, what truly matters to you. It's about learning to be your own best friend, your own confidant, your own source of comfort. Remember, self-sufficiency doesn't mean shunning the world. It means being able to thrive in solitude, being at peace with yourself, and being resilient in the face of life's challenges. It's about being your own anchor in the storm, your own lighthouse in the dark. Dare to dive deeper into yourself and discover your inner fortress. Scene script. Can imagining worse scenarios help you feel better about your current situation? Well, the Stoics seem to think so. They practiced a technique known as negative visualization. Here's how it works. Let's say you're feeling isolated and lonely right now. Now, imagine a situation where you're not only alone, but you have no shelter, no food, no basic amenities. Sounds terrible, right? But here's the twist. This isn't about dwelling on doom and gloom. It's about gaining perspective. When we consider circumstances that are worse than our current situation, it helps us appreciate what we do have. It's a reality check that fosters gratitude. So you're alone, yes, but you're safe, you're warm, you're fed. That's something, isn't it? This practice isn't about dismissing your feelings of loneliness or isolation, but rather about seeing them in a broader context. It's a powerful tool for cultivating resilience and contentment. Remember, things could always be worse. When was the last time you truly connected with nature? Stoic philosophers held a profound belief in the interconnectedness of the universe. They understood that we, as humans, are an integral part of this vast cosmos, not separate entities. Just as the sun rises and sets in a rhythmic pattern and the seasons change in a predictable cycle, we too are woven into the fabric of existence. Spending time in nature can offer solace, especially during periods of loneliness or isolation. As you sit quietly by a flowing river, listen to the symphony of birds at dawn, or feel the gentle touch of a breeze on your face, you may experience a sense of belonging. You're part of this grand, beautiful universe, not apart from it. Observing the patterns in nature can also provide valuable insights, reminding us that all things change and evolve. This can imbue us with a sense of hope, knowing that our current state of loneliness is not permanent. Nature is waiting. Will you connect? How often do you reflect on your thoughts and actions? Let's ponder upon this question. Reflection, a cornerstone of Stoicism, is a powerful tool to gain self-awareness and navigate through the labyrinth of our emotions. When we feel lonely or isolated, it's easy to get lost in the whirlwind of these feelings. However, by engaging in daily reflection, we can understand these feelings better and find ways to address them. Now let's take a step back in time to ancient Rome. You'll find Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who was also a dedicated Stoic philosopher. His work, Meditations, is an extraordinary example of personal reflections. It's a tapestry of his thoughts, a dialogue with his inner self, and an exploration of his emotions. He didn't shy away from confronting his feelings, but instead questioned them, analyzed them, and learned from them. So how can we incorporate this into our lives? Consider setting aside a quiet moment each day to delve into your thoughts and emotions. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What can I learn from this? How can I respond to this constructively? It's not about judging your feelings, but understanding them. Reflection, much like a mirror, helps us see ourselves more clearly. It allows us to identify patterns in our thoughts, navigate our emotional landscape, and uncover ways to handle loneliness and isolation. It's a journey inward, a journey of self-discovery. Unearth your feelings through reflection. Feeling isolated doesn't mean you have to be alone. In our modern world, the internet has opened up myriad avenues for connection, even for Stoics. Just as an ancient Stoic might have sought out the marketplace or the academy for meaningful interaction, so too can we find community in the digital realm. Online Stoic communities offer an opportunity to engage with like-minded individuals from all walks of life. These can be forums where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and lessons learned. They can also be a source of comfort, guidance, and camaraderie in challenging times. Webinars and virtual meetups provide a platform to learn from Stoic scholars and enthusiasts. They can deepen your understanding of Stoicism, expose you to different viewpoints, and even challenge your preconceived notions. Remember, Marcus Aurelius himself said, "We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth." Even though he lived in a different era, his words still ring true today. In these spaces, you're not just a passive observer, but an active participant. You can ask questions, contribute to discussions, and even form lasting friendships. And in doing so, you're not just battling your own feelings of isolation, but potentially helping others with theirs. So don't let physical isolation limit your social interactions. Reach out, engage, and find your tribe. In this digital age, a community is just a click away. Can acts of kindness help alleviate feelings of loneliness? This question brings us to the teachings of Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher who placed great emphasis on duty and kindness. Epictetus believed that even in the face of adversity, we can find comfort and connection through acts of kindness. Now, you might be wondering, how can I be kind when I'm in isolation? The good news is that kindness isn't limited by physical boundaries. In this age of technology, there are numerous ways to reach out and make a positive impact on others. For instance, you can engage in virtual volunteering. Many organizations today offer remote volunteering opportunities that allow you to help from the comfort of your own home. This could involve anything from tutoring students online to offering companionship to the elderly through a phone call. Alternatively, there's the option of supporting local businesses. These small enterprises have been hit hard by recent events, and your patronage can make a world of difference. You could order a meal from a local restaurant, buy goods from a nearby store, or promote them on social media. And let's not forget the simple act of checking on a neighbor or sending a thoughtful message to a friend. Small gestures like these can create ripples of positivity, reminding both you and the recipient that no one is truly alone. Remember, kindness has the power to connect. It bridges the gap between isolation and community, making us realize that we are all part of a larger whole. How do you respond to your feelings of loneliness? This question might seem daunting, but it's crucial for our journey today. In the Stoic philosophy, acceptance plays a vital role in managing feelings, particularly those of loneliness and isolation. Stoicism teaches us to accept our feelings without judgment. Feelings, as Stoics would argue, are natural responses to different situations and experiences. They are neither good nor bad, they simply exist. Our distress arises not from the feelings themselves, but from our judgments about them. When you feel lonely, it's natural to label this feeling as negative, to wish it away, to struggle against it. But Stoics would advise a different approach. They would suggest that we accept our feelings of loneliness, perceive them without judgment, and allow them to exist without trying to push them away. This acceptance creates space. It's a space for clarity, a space for calmness, and most importantly, a space for understanding. When we accept our feelings of loneliness, we can examine them more clearly. We can understand their roots, their triggers, and their effects on us. And with this understanding, we can devise strategies to manage these feelings effectively. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, and it doesn't mean you're giving in to loneliness. Instead, it's about acknowledging your feelings, understanding them, and using this knowledge to navigate your path forward. Acceptance is the first step towards clarity and calmness. By accepting your feelings of loneliness, you're not only practicing a key Stoic principle, but also paving your way towards better emotional resilience. Ever thought about the fleeting nature of life? It's a profound question, isn't it? A question that Stoics often pondered. The Stoic philosophers held a deep understanding of the transience of life, the ephemeral nature of our existence. It was not a morbid fascination, but a tool of perspective, a means to navigate the turbulent seas of life with grace and equanimity. Life in all its grandeur and spectacle is a transient phenomenon. Just as the seasons change, the sun rises and sets and the tides ebb and flow, so too does our life oscillate between various states. Moments of joy, sorrow, tranquility, chaos, solitude and companionship all come and go. They are fleeting, transient, impermanent. Now you might wonder, how does this understanding help us navigate through feelings of loneliness or periods of isolation? Well, the Stoics believed that by reminding ourselves of life's transience, we can cultivate a sense of perspective. We can remember that just like everything else in life, our feelings of loneliness and our periods of isolation are also temporary. When we're in the throes of loneliness, it's easy to feel as if this state will last forever. However, just as a storm eventually gives way to calm, so too does loneliness eventually give way to companionship. By acknowledging the transience of our current state, we can better endure it, knowing it's not a permanent fixture, but a passing phase. This perspective does not invalidate our feelings or experiences. Rather, it allows us to hold them lightly, to not be consumed by them. It empowers us to navigate through them with a sense of calm and composure, knowing that they are part of the ebb and flow of life. So the next time you find yourself feeling lonely or isolated, remember the Stoic lesson of life's transience. Take a deep breath, feel the weight of your existence, and remind yourself this too, like everything else in life, is temporary. It's a part of my journey, a phase in the grand tapestry of my existence. And in the profound words of Persian poet Omar Khayyam, be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. Remember, this too shall pass. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to stay connected with us for more wisdom.